Hello friends, Lee Camp bringing you some Brother Preacher today, taped on location at the famed Rhea County Courthouse in Dayton, Tennessee, home of the infamous Scopes monkey trial held in 1925. And yes, it was as bad as you might imagine. Brother Preacher on the Scopes trial. Enjoy.
Let's do some preaching. Oh, that's nice. Thank you so much for that. Is it me, or does this church look exactly like the inside of a courthouse? I mean, they're really into that whole final judgment thing, you know? We get it. Shut up. You're weirding me out. Okay. The very serious topic set before us this evening is not only controversial, but in the case of Lee Camp, has all the makings of a career-ending train wreck. How in the world he thinks he can keep a Christian college teaching gig when he gets back after doing this show is beyond me. Like I always say, dance with Darwin, you will dance your way to a state school. Look, he's not completely nuts, okay? He did take the show out of town this time. He may not be as dumb as you keep saying he is behind his back. You ask me, he might as well just shave his legs now and start eating sushi. Why? Because life as he knows it is over. Which is why I want to publicly thank Lee Camp for inviting me to his little career suicide pact. I needed this like I needed poison ivy in my shorts. Look, I'm not some kind of kite-flying, agnostic, flirting Bible scholar. I'm a preacher, for crying out loud. This is serious. I have a bachelor's degree in Old Testament and a minor in puppet ministry. What do you think the chances are of me getting a job at Google? About that many. Look, there's no way out of this mess for a preacher, okay? Land on the side of the Bible, they say you're naive. Land on the side of science, they say you're hellbound. Land smack dab in the middle of this thing, you make everybody mad. Which is exactly what I intend to do tonight. Because sometimes uncompromising, unflinching, big-time professional wishy-washiness is our only hope. How are we doing on time? You gotta be kidding me. This may be the longest 5-minute sermon of my life. I swear, if anybody makes it to the door, I will follow. It wasn't always like this, you know. There was a time when preachers did their thing, and scientists did their thing, and then preachers put the scientists in jail. What was wrong with that? I feel that was working. Those days are gone. Now you got scientists running around everywhere, wild, big old brains hanging out everywhere, tossing around fossils and telescopes, getting DNA all over the vestibules. I mean, they got us preachers tap dancing like a bunch of Methodists at a bowling party. Well, guess what? I'm a Church of Christ preacher. I shouldn't even be dancing. I might as well put on some shorts right now. Start mixed bathing. Maybe I could take some piano lessons. I might as well wax my back and start eating sushi with Lee Camp down at Fresno State. It's over. Ironically, all of my sermons are scientifically preached. Every time I get up to preach, my sermons, like the beginning of the universe, got nothing. My sermons begin completely without form and void. And they stay that way for about 40 minutes. Matter of fact, my sermon tonight, I made a boatload of nothing for this thing. I figured Scopes monkey trial, how tough can that be, you know? I've been to zoos, I've seen monkeys, I've had Scope. Let's preach. So it starts off with that 40 minutes of nothing, and then suddenly there's a big bang, and it just starts to evolve, changing and adapting according to the grumpiness of the crowd, of course. Then before you know it, I got a 3.45-minute sermon, and it all happens without a trace of intelligent design. And the amazing thing is, after 25 years of preaching like that, they're still falling for it. Bottom line, we can no longer ignore science. Amen? Well, that was very good. Someone says, well, preacher, wouldn't it bother you to find out that you're related to a monkey? Look, honestly, it depends on the monkey, doesn't it? Let's be honest. I mean, it's one of those cute little Tarzan monkeys, you know. Got the overalls on, driving a tractor. James Bond monkey, I don't care, that's fine. But if it's one of those weird, scary-looking monkeys with the snaggletooth teeth, long, kind of hairy, kind of not hairy arms, that big old red, sweaty rear. Every time it walks, it always pops up like that. Looks like it's got a big facelift, and it keeps going, "Gah, gah, gah." If you're talking about that kind of monkey, you can forget it. I'm not related to that. On which of the 6 literal days of creation did God say, I think I'm going to make one of those? Answer, none of them. Preacher, if you believe in the 6 literal days of creation, aren't you saying that dinosaurs ran around with humans at the same time? That's impossible. Listen, I'm not saying this. All I'm saying is this. The Flintstones were a great show. Why? Because they were exactly like the Honeymooners, but they were cavemen. Try and do that with the Dick Van Dyke Show. I don't think so. It wouldn't make any sense at all. Who among us wouldn't love having a woolly mammoth dishwasher, a stegosaurus vacuum cleaner, a pterodactyl telephone? If you've never had a talking saber-toothed tiger coffee table, how do you know you wouldn't love it? Well, guess what? You would love it. I would love it. We'd all love it. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever. How are we doing on time? Finally, okay. In closing. Sitting in this church/courthouse, we remember a young, frightened, idealistic teacher who lost family and friends and a promising career. And he did it all because he did something that was unpopular. And that young, frightened, kind of funny-looking teacher's name is Lee Camp. Put him on your prayer list as together we stand and sing.